So
Yeah.
welcome everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining. My name is Sutherland. I am the marketing manager for Adventures with Agile. And if you are unfamiliar with us, Adventures with Agile is a global training company, and our ethos is all about making working life better. So it's great as well, as always, to see some familiar faces. And if you are new here, myself and the AWA team would like to officially welcome you. We host meetups and webinars every month, so check out our website, adventureswithagile.com, our meetup page, Adventures with Agile, for all our upcoming online events. Also, if you have social media, please give us a follow. We're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. So just search Adventures with Agile and we will come up. And just a reminder as well, our sessions are recorded. So if you ever need to look back on our previous sessions, you can go onto our website or go onto our YouTube page to find out all of our previous videos. So now the formalities are all done, let's get started. So if you're here today, you're probably looking to take the next step in your Agile journey. And in today's webinar, you'll be hearing from 3 of our expert ICAgile Accredited Expert trainers, and that is David, Hafa, and Laria. So thank you for joining us. And they're going to be giving you an inside look into our upcoming Expert in Agile Coaching Cohort program. And then after that, we have some guest speakers. And our current cohort members will share their journey into Agile and why they decided to join the program as well. So hopefully you'll be able to see 2 sides of the spectrum there. And then finally, we'll end with an open Q&A where you can ask our trainers and cohort attendees any questions that you like. And I do encourage everyone in this webinar to jump in whenever you need. Do not be shy. This is a safe space for you to ask as many questions as you want. I've also got a mural board that I've created. So I'm going to put that in the chat shortly, and you'll be able to go in there and ask us, put any questions and down or make any notes in there. So now I'm going to hand over to our trainers. So firstly, for those that do not know who you are, can you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do and what you would like people to take away from today's session? So David, do you want to kick us off?
Don't start with me, Corey. Okay, so I would describe myself as a business coach and a trainer. I've spent, I don't know, over 15 years in the Agile world, working with a variety of organizations, from global corporations and governments to startups. I'm not going to say which ones I've preferred, because you might tell them. And on everything from fashion, as most of you know, having seen my elegance, through to meatier subjects such as reducing self-inflicted death in prisons and kidney and liver transplants and things like that. Not all tech, so I'd say about half and half of tech and non-tech things as well. So my current focus is split between some of that coaching with organizations and training the team facilitation and team coaching courses with AWA and this expert cohort. But my other passions, if I can sneak these in, not going to mention the 4 books that I've published on things like user-centered design. My current passion is that I'm starting a doctorate in coaching with the specific focus of how humor can be used in coaching, because it's an important role. Fun and humor are important to me, but they're tricky for people to do. So I will tell you that in about 3 or 4 or 10 years, once I've done my research. And that is me.
Brilliant. And what would you like people to take away from today's session, David?
I would like people to take away a feeling that this is either right or not quite right yet for them, so that they're aware of what they're undertaking. Because I think that's important for various reasons, but I don't want to steal the thunder of other people, so I'll leave it at that for now.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Next, we have Laria. So would you like to introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are, what you do?
Hello, everyone. Wake up. I was going to say wake up America, but I can't say that. Wake up the world. Um, I am a leadership and agility coach. I've been in the business for over 25 years. Ooh, I didn't even say that. That's a lot. And I have worked, my specialty is emotional intelligence with leaders. I create emotional intelligent leaders so they can light the path for others for their success. I also I use agility and diversity and inclusion. I use it with organizations, with their strategies, and I unleash for all of you the truth and power that's in you to be amazing leaders because we're all leaders. So my big focus is sensing, coaching what is going on within the system, not just the doing, but the being of it all. And I'm in San Diego. I'm also a coactive leader. I own Success Agility. Um, I have, I don't know, I do a lot of stuff. I have somatic coaching, a lot of different things, which I bring to the table for everyone. What I want you guys to get out of here, I want you to be motivated and excited to know that whatever you want to do is possible. So if this cohort is possible for you, jump on board. It takes hard work to go to that next level. I went through a cohort, started here, and I thought I was great. No, I was okay. I ended it amazing, and I'm still mastering. So don't get caught on the name expert, get caught on mastering it. So I just want you guys just be motivated, be open, safe place, ask questions, and leave just a little bit different.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Mhm.
Maria. And last but not least, Mr. Hafa Ribeiro, please introduce yourself
Oh, that
and
was a
let us
really
know.
good. Yeah,
Was my
very
pronunciation good? Was that good?
perfect.
Ah, there we
Perfect.
go. There we go.
The
Nice.
Hafa is normally the harder part. I just tell people to remember happy. So happy Hafa, and that's how you pronounce my name. I am a Brazilian with a Portuguese heart. I live in Portugal for 14 years already. And I am a geek that learned kind of like in the middle of my professional journey that I knew a lot about machines, but not a lot about humans. So I created my own company at the time and went to do a postgrad on psychology through expressive arts, like the last place you will find an IT guy. But that opened my whole life and kind of like got me my other half of life, my emotional side of life, my instinct side of life, and also my own body side of life. Because before I thought my body was a machine conducting my head, and it would take my brain to place it. So that was a big turn on my professional career. And because of that, when I get back to IT, I felt like only software development was not enough anymore. So I got into professional coaching. I also met AWA along the way, and this whole agile coaching world and role made perfect sense for me. I slowly moved away from only IT and software development, and currently I am trying to bring this amazing knowledge from the postgrad on the realms of creativity to logical thinkers. I'm also a surfer, so I'm experimenting with giving coaching sessions at the beach with a wetsuit and a board so that we can use the ocean as the other coach, and the coachee can really connect with that more primitive and emotional side of the coaching. And as David and Maria mentioned, I also work with companies. I am also training the team coach and team facilitation courses with AWA. And finally, what I want you to take out of this. This cohort program is an intense, as Maria said, and it's a long program. We're talking about 8 to 9 months program. So I would really like for you to connect with us, the cohort leaders, because we will need your trust and your openness, and we need to fit with each other. If you don't feel like, okay, these are not the right people for me to go into this journey, that's awesome, because we are saving ourselves a lot of frustration along the way. But if we connect and you feel this the right moment for you to take your agile coaching to the next level, well, that's what I hope you achieve.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Well, now we know who our trainers are. I think it's time to find out what the program is about. So again, I'm going to hand it back to the trainers. Can you just give us a bit of an insight as to what this program is? And I guess what people should be able to expect from it.
Definitely. Who should start?
You started. Well, you started talking, so you take it away.
Okay. I'm gonna just summarize, and then you two can chip in with whatever you want. So, according with the Agile Coaching Competency Framework, an Agile coach is someone that not only has the Agile and Lean practitioner knowledge, that has some technical mastery, some business mastery, and some transformational mastery. It is someone that has 5 crucial competencies: professional coaching, facilitation, teaching, mentoring, and the 5th one, which is knowing when to use each of the previous 4. So in a nutshell, this program will take you to a mastering level of all those 5 competencies. So that would be the biggest summary that I can make of the program. What would you, David or Loria, would like to add on top of that?
It might be useful for us to add a bit of how the actual thing works. Should we do that, Loria? So it comprises of a number of sessions where we meet as a group, so leaders and cohort. We set out as 90 minutes. I think we're agreeing now that each session is going to be a little bit longer. So set as 2 hours every 2 weeks, where we talk about a number of topics, and they're going to be around those 5 areas, those competencies that Hafa just talked about. And we're going to dig into 1 or 2 concepts further. So for those of you who've been on the team coaching course with us, you'll know, and I'm sure with all of the other courses with other providers, there is a wide amount of information and stuff we talk about, and we can't go very deep on them. And so this is the opportunity to go deeper on stuff. And so this is not a 2-hour lesson, right? This is not about us passing information across to you. Like our courses that we build, we're passing something over as some concepts or theories, we're then discussing them. You're then thinking about how they relate to your situation, and then building something from those, talking about it in the session, practicing it maybe in the session, and then taking that away and implementing in your work that you're doing outside there. So for example, we talk about powerful questions on the team coaching course, and we give you a list, 6 pages of powerful questions. And they're grouped roughly into logical sections. But there are no closed questions on there. Does that mean the closed question is never a good thing? No, it doesn't actually mean that. Sometimes a closed question might be the right thing. But what makes a powerful question over an open question and things like that? So we delve deeper into these topics to get to flesh them out a bit more. Okay, so that's the basis, and we'll go through those 5 segments in turn, going deeper into topics like that. Now, on top of that, there's some other stuff. On top of that, a crucial element is you journaling and thinking about and reflecting on that work that you're doing outside the course. And the work outside the course has to be in excess of 100 hours of practice that you're doing. So with your organization or with teams or whoever else it is, we're assuming that it's going to be easiest to do that with your organizations. Split across those 25 competencies of teaching or training, facilitating, mentoring, and coaching. So roughly 25 hours of each of those things. And reflecting on those in this journaling process, as well as some coaching sessions that you're going to receive, some, we'll call them mentoring sessions, where we're reviewing your progress in midpoint roughly through the cohort, and then at the end as well. I've probably missed something else. Maria, is there anything I've missed?
The residential, we'll have a residential The one thing that I would just add is that this is a chance for you guys to go deep, to unlock, be vulnerable. This is really the best thing is that you have a cohort. You have these wonderful people that you really get close to, and you meet in triads, you rotate, you get to launch and learn for so many people. We're there to help and support you. But my biggest learning was really with of course, my leaders, but also with my community, my cohort. So this is a chance. What you really get out of this and what it is about is for you to get real with yourself and be open and allow yourself to go to the next level, to be open. That's what this is about. It is that journey of where am I? Being open to critiques and feedback, but not just from us, from everyone. And in that process, you're going to teach us and you're going to teach everyone also. So that's the only thing that I would add to this. And I'm sure that you guys have specifics, and I would love to hear those instead of me just telling you what I think you want to know.
I just may build on that though, Luria, in that, and I'm not suggesting that the team coaching or facilitation courses are cookie cutters, then everyone comes out of those courses the same, because they don't. And we talk about authenticity and congruence and all those things about you. I think this cohort, and what it was for me, is it was for me to learn about who David Lowe is as a coach, and actually kind of understand how I'm different from other people in a good way, right? In that we're all individuals and we all have our own styles, and it gave us that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. What we described to you so far is basically the minimum that ICAgile requires from an expert cohort program, which what we are adding on top of that is based on our own experience going through the expert accreditation journey. And we really want to make this build and discover your identity as an Agile coach a core theme. So from beginning to end, we are not going to say how you should behave or what are the things you should do. And at the end of the 9-month program, we will have a group of people who are basically the same style of Agile coaching. No, we are going to challenge you not only with the content we are going to share, but we want you to really dig on your own identity. What can I bring that it's unique on my experience to my Agile coaching? And we are going to propose challenges that you will need to go to the real world and solve them. So it's not only the practice between peers that are on the same journey, we are also going to put you to the test on real life situations. And sometimes you will succeed, sometimes you may fail. What is definitely going to happen on either of those scenarios is that there's going to be tons of learning. And you're going to bring this learning to the cohort. So you're going to learn from your experiences and from everyone else's experiences. So we are exponentially making the space for growth.
Thank you. I guess I have a question as well for everyone. For example, if I've never been on a cohort program before, this is my first time, what am I going to experience? What's that going to be like for me?
It's going to be a warm, fuzzy feeling, Corey. It's going to be like you just met a new family, and that you're being hugged all the way through a process where you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to do some things that are really good and you're proud of, and they're going to celebrate both of those with you in a safe environment without judgment and support. And they're going to give you the support.
Yeah. And when there is
give us a hug, Corey.
There we go. Stretch my arms out.
and if there is, I would add, and if there is judgment, we learn. So we learn about what creates the safety, because we all do those things. So there will be, but we get to have that and create that together. And it's going to be different for everyone. Some people come in with their gung-ho. You have your experts who come in like, I could teach the course. You have your I'm scared. You have imposter syndrome. You have open mindset. You have I'm barely here. I'm on my computer. You have all types. So it depends on how you want to come in. How we will welcome you is what David said. That's what we're going to provide for you. And it will change and grow because we're going to design that alliance together for that particular cohort. Each cohort is going to be different. We're just going to come with who we are, and then it'll change and grow as you come on board. But it will be challenging. It will be like, what? And there will be this, and it would be, but we're there to support you. I'm not there to hold your hand all the time because then my hands sweat. And I don't want that.
I mean, we're not going to be telling you, and this is the thing when I said about what I wanted to get out of this. It's work, right? How much work depends on you and what you're putting into it. But as a guess, I'm going to say 1 to 3 hours a week in terms of work, thinking about this, plus those 100 hours across the whole time. And so I don't want people thinking that it's going to be just turning up for those 2 hours each week, fortnight is a term that I've learned recently is only known in a very small number of countries. I don't want you thinking up that every 2 weeks you turn up and just do that 2-hour session and that's it, because it's not that. There is more. So it does take commitment. Yeah, but it's damn well worth it.
Yeah.
I would say it's application. So it's you applying what you learn. It actually, for me, it didn't feel like work or homework. It felt like, wow, I'm elevating myself because I was ready and thirsty to learn. So if you come in ready and thirsty, it's not work, it's application and it's applying. But I'm still, Corey, I know you're going, but I'm so excited to hear from someone else besides us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a few questions actually that have come through on the mural board, which is really good. So this leads into actually what a question I was going to raise about prerequisites. So someone here has put, I did the ICP ATF back in November 2019 and the 32-hour Agile Team Coach certification, I think that is, 4 months with Agile 42. Does this last one count as a prerequisite?
I do not believe it does. I believe you have to do the team facilitation course, ICAgile Team Facilitation course, and the ICAgile Team Coaching course.
Yeah. If it's Agile 42 equivalent to the ICP-ACC certification, then this would probably count as a prerequisite. Sorry?
You need both.
Yeah. Yes. What I'm trying to say is that the Agile Team Coach certification from Agile 42, I don't know if it's equivalent to the ACP-ACC certification. From ICAgile, you need both certifications to count as a prerequisite. Yeah. It doesn't need to be from AWA. That's what I mean. Like if you did the course and the ACP-ACC with another provider, that counts as a prerequisite. If it's an Agile Team Coach course that it's not certified by ICAgile, that doesn't count as the prerequisite. Okay.
Perfect. I hope that answered your question there. We have another question, which says, how many people will be in a cohort? Is there a limit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is a limit. We want to do, not only if we have 50 people, we won't be able to really support you along the way, but we don't want to do with just a couple of people, because then the learning is not exponential. So I believe, and Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, we are aiming between 15. I don't know if we set a higher limit for that.
A little lower.
A little lower?
I think it's about 12.
Yeah, well, it could be 11,
12.
I think, or 12.
12, yeah.
Okay.
To 21 or something like that, or
I have 12 to 20 in my head, but so 11 to 21, something around there.
Yeah. So,
and that's so you get the right learning, so you get the space that you need. So.
Yeah. And what will make this number magical is that not only there is a series of triads, as we said, of groups of 3 people that can practice and elevate each other, but it's kind of like a really, really big team on this amazing journey together, because we are all aiming to the same objective. And maybe this is not clear enough, but what the cohort program is the preparation for you to go and have an interview at the end with ICAgile and just say, this is my track record. You can fire any situation that you want because I have the experience. And if you watch our previous webinar, both me and David Lowe, we went on this journey by ourselves. And it was excruciating pain. Not only the logistics of getting everything done, but figuring out what is the level and the amount of expertise to get to the expert level, just the two of us. It's completely opposite if you do as a cohort. And at the previous webinar, if you haven't watched it, you can go to our YouTube channel to watch it. Loria shared the other side of this story because Loria had a cohort to get to the expert level. And the experience is completely different. Having a group of people supported by industry experts to be ready for that ICAgile review call is miles away from doing this by yourself. And what ICAgile did was you cannot do this by yourself anymore because the failure rate of that call was something like between, I think, 60 or 70% failure rate. People were not getting ready for that call because doing this by yourself, it is so challenging.
Thank you, Hafa. Now I see we've got some more questions in the in the mural, but I will come back to those at the end in our Q&A. But I'm gonna park that there. So thank you so much for our trainers for kind of explaining and giving us that inside look. So it's great that we've now heard from the trainers, but now I think it will be even more interesting to hear from people who are actually on the current cohort program who will be joining it, and just to kind of get that perspective of actually someone in kind of the same boat. So I'm just going to check. Do we have Andy in the room? Andy Spence.
I'm here. Hi.
Hi,
Andy's
Andy.
in the house.
There we go. Andy's in the house.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yes,
definitely.
Yes,
Good.
definitely.
Good. Yes. What can I tell you?
Yeah, so thank you for joining us, Andy. It will be great to just hear a bit of insight on your Agile journey and perhaps why you chose to join this particular cohort. Why this was the particular route that you decided to go down.
Yeah, absolutely. So in a nutshell, my journey, I started on the Scrum and Agile path in 2009. Got handed the short straw in the team. I was actually an application support engineer, and they said, we need a Scrum Master. Someone needs to keep us in these meetings. And I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. And well, here I am almost 12 years later, still doing this stuff. So it obviously stuck. I've always had a passion for learning and continuing on the journey. I did what probably most people do. You go through, the Scrum Master courses and then on the way up. And I stumbled upon the ICAgile course that Lisa Adkins was offering via Advanced Agile. And I just wanted to try and learn something new and delve a bit. I had read Lisa Adkins' book, Coaching Agile Teams, and I thought, oh, cool, a real life version of that sounds great. And we had a great time in that course, and I learned a great deal about myself and about the kind of the X-wing, as they call it, the kind of the different competencies, and it was very eye-opening. And this was in about 2016. I then saw that they weren't offering the boot camp in the UK, so I saw that there was the facilitation course that went with it afterwards. So I took that the following year. Got to kind of use my team coaching learnings, and then thought, and I'll try some of the facilitation stuff later. So I got that I did that course in 2017. And to be fair to Lisa and the group, they've been offering me the cohort ever since. I took a personal different path. I wanted to deep dive more into Scrum learning, and I did a professional Scrum trainer path, which I decided to focus my efforts on. And I just recently got my professional Scrum trainer license in February, which was a big achievement for me. 4 years of work, and kind of got there, and I've now kind of freed up my learning bucket, if you will. And I really wanted to go down this cohort path. So I came back to Advanced Agile because they were offering it. And obviously I know David as well. I've worked with David and I'm a big fan. So it's an opportunity to work with David. I've also now met Loria, which is a lovely experience. So I feel like this is the right place for me, and I feel it's the right time for me to now focus in on this without the distractions of any other learning objectives I've had. So that's why I'm here. And so, yeah, hopefully that explains that.
Brilliant. So were there any kind of barriers you faced, or any doubts or moments of uncertainty that you felt with before joining the cohort or on your Agile journey?
In the era of true transparency, guys, like a cohort like this is a significant financial undertaking. It's a significant effort undertaking. It takes a lot. That's in your head. I think you need to get yourself past. Because, you know, if you're going to invest this into yourself, you need to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And like I said, I wanted to make sure my learning path was clear. I've achieved a very big milestone for myself with the professional Scrum trainer path I took. And like I said, that was 4 years of really, really hard work for myself. So now I can feel I can free this up now to really, really invest in it. And so that was that decision. And I mean, I've been bouncing around. Do I do go down the ORSC, go more down into deep dive into ORSC, or ICF, or something with barefoot, or coactive training? There's all these new training offerings all around. I'm like, where do I go? And I don't know. I just felt like I love being an agile coach. I have a passion for agility. This course is built around making that deeper, and so this just makes sense to me, and that's why I've made this choice. So those are the kind of mental barriers I had to get my head around.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Sure.
Being transparent in that area. Yeah. I don't know, is there anyone in the audience that has any questions that they would like to ask Andy or anything like that? Don't be shy. You can turn your mic on. This is a safe space.
Hey, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, great. Okay. Oops, sorry. Siri's just turned on. So there's some question about prerequisites, and I just wanted to clarify exactly what they are. Maybe to keep it simple in terms of, say, the adventures with Agile and sort of ICP type stuff. What would be the prerequisites there then? And then I suppose is that what was it Andy was talking about when it comes to the financial aspects, or is there more to it than that?
I can happily take this one if you want. It's I mean the basic prerequisites, as I understand them from the accreditation point of view, is the ICP, ACC, and the facilitation piece. Having those under your belt is key to moving on to onto the cohort. Obviously, the next part is making sure that the course is right for you and your own prerequisites. So doing your own research, making sure that this is where you want to be. But yeah, those two accreditations will be needed before you can move forward. Does everyone understand what those accreditations are and where to get them? Might be the question.
Yeah, just to note as well, if you look in the chat, Loria has actually posted a link to our course page on the AWA website, so you can have a look at there for full details about all the prerequisites for joining the cohort program.
Yeah. But yes, as we've just had in the chat, yes, you need both the facilitation and the team coach. It's not one or the other; it's both. Thank you.
Yeah. What we can also say, though, is that this new offer from ICAgile itself, the coaching expert program, it's a new program. So if you are interested in doing this and you're not yet clear on the prerequisites, start the conversation with us, because as ICAgile gets more experience on running the cohort, like from different providers, things may change. And some things may go more on where you currently are. So please, if you are interested, start a conversation with us. Okay, we can not only help you out to get the prerequisites, or we can even validate if there is something that is going to be changing soon, or because I expect ICAgile to also learn by doing it and getting the feedback from the community as it stands for agility. So this was what we have now, but if you're interested, please talk with us.
Brilliant. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Andy, for sharing. That was really insightful, showcasing your journey, and I'm sure that was very helpful for the people in the audience. I also want to welcome another person who's joined on the cohort as well. Martinus, are you in the room?
Oh, hi, here I am.
There we go. Hi, Martinus, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So yeah, I'm going to pose the same questions as well. If you could just share with people your journey into Agile and why you've particularly chosen to go down this route of the Expert in Agile Coaching cohort program.
Sure. I think my journey was perhaps, well, not perhaps, definitely a lot less structured than Andy's was. I'm more of a do whatever comes my way kind of guy. But in saying that, I've always really been at heart an Agilist. And I say that because I've always been positive, very keen on and positive on Agile and ways of working and working to assist individuals in teams operate and become real high-performing teams. That's a big passion of mine. I love working with teams and see them flourish where they are and become much better where they are. So I've always really been that kind of person. Not a few years, quite a while ago now, my wife actually described me as the glue between people and teams, which is really interesting description. But that's, if I looking back at it, that's really what I do. I'm always the person that brings people together and teams together. So my journey into this whole world, I personally think, I started off also as a geek, as a real techie guy. I was a Linux person through and through. I actually had a shirt that said "Geek by Nature" at the back of it, and the front it said Linux by choice. So very interesting shirt to wear, and I loved it. So I say that because Linux people are essentially lazy. We really are. We hate repeating things, and this really ties into the Agile journey, because if you look at, we're always looking for ways to improve things and ways to optimize things, and looking at the Agile values. I mean, we're looking at individuals and interactions. Yeah, sure, we have processes and tools. And then the fourth one, responding to change. And all of these things tie into coaching and mentoring people into a much better space. So this is what I'm doing today, is working with teams, leading teams, helping transformations where I can, guiding leadership the best that I can at the moment, but I have so much to learn and improve on. And this then takes me to exactly why I'm on this cohort and why I wanted to join this, is because there is so much to learn. Creating that trust with teams, building further trust. It's something that you have to do in these relationships with teams and people and individuals. I want to expand my ability to listen and learn from others as well. It's also an opportunity to work with other people, other Agilists and people with great skills that I've got, again, so much to learn from. So as Loria mentioned, the four things that then I think Loria, it was you that said it, the four things, so coaching, facilitation, then mentoring and training, but then tying that all back together again and knowing when to select which one. I can't remember which one of you mentioned it, but this is something that I definitely have to learn much more of. And I think that this cohort will be a great stance for me to go and at least start there. That really was me and why I chose this. I don't know what else you want to know.
No, that's brilliant. That's really insightful. Thank you for that. And again, I posed the same question as well. Were there kind of any barriers that you felt prior to joining? I know often, I guess the theme that everyone tends to experience is that feeling of imposter syndrome. I'm joining, maybe I'm not potentially ready for a cohort program. Did you have any experiences or issues like that?
Maybe not so much the imposter syndrome. I'm already on another cohort which will end just the week before this one starts, which is great. So I'm quite used to that. But I think something that has been mentioned before that people need to be aware of is this will take time and it has to take the effort. You'll only get out of it what you put into it. So be aware that this will take your time, it'll take your dedication, it'll take your commitment to make a success of it. Obviously, we haven't started yet, we're only subscribed to it, but having been in another, or being currently in another cohort for a different program, I'm very aware of the commitment that this takes. And I think that was probably a part of my reservation was, wow, am I really ready to do this? Because this will take it to the next level. From what I know of David, from what I know of Hafa, you guys really put all your effort and all your time into this to make this a great success. And the expectation is the same. You don't say it outright, but it is the same. And I think it's only fair to commit to that level if you're going to enter into this program.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing there. Again, if there's anyone that's in the chat that has any questions for either Martin or Sandy or the trainers, please feel free to ask. Again, don't be shy. This is a safe space. You can ask any question that you like.
Hello. Hi, it's Neela.
Oh, hi, Neela.
Hi. Can I ask a cheeky question? Because I'm hoping the people who are on this call have probably done the research and know there are other companies who offer this program. So obviously, I've joined because I have spoken to one of the other companies as well. I've had lots of good feedback about AWS, but obviously one of the things to me is it's not just the money. The fact that one of the other companies actually offers me like 4 qualifications. So I actually like the feeling in this group, and I like the coaches. So do you mind if I ask what are your strengths over other companies, do you think, that can offer, or is that up to, do you think it's just a personality thing where you think you fit better with a company or not?
No, I think that's a very fair question. I'll
ask you a question, Nyla, is what is it that you're missing from the other companies that you're seeking?
Well, obviously, like you said, you want to feel like you can connect, because it's not just about the price. And obviously, Laria, you actually, when you said I'm really piqued by my main thing is culture and personality building teams. I think that's really important.
Yes.
And I've just started, crazy enough, this has just arrived. And so when you said your emotional intelligence coach, that's the kind of thing that I'm sort of drawn towards. So you immediately, I really felt like that you could, I could probably get quite a lot from you. But obviously there's always the balance, isn't there, between, it's not just the money, but the fact that, I get all like 4 extra qualifications is something that's quite
what
appealing
are those,
as well.
What are those the other qualifications?
So the other ones are giving you the ATF, the CAT, obviously the expert, and the advanced Scrum Master as well, which you just obviously you just take. It's just you just have to take the exam, so they give you that as well. So I just wondered, because I'm still going to be assessed by the same group of people in terms of ICAgile, but I'm receiving more, and the course is cheaper as well. So I just wondered.
Can I address this one? I'm gonna address this now because so one thing we look at is.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, here I am.
Okay,
one thing we look at are certifications, like when we go out in the field and we have all these certifications. But really what's important is what you said, is that connection as a coach. Because once you have one, the certified Scrum Master is below, and I hate to put the below, but below this one. And what we do here is we're very diverse, our leadership. And so I'm big in emotional intelligence, so is Hop, and so is David. And we all have these uniques. But what we know is that culture is what is the key, is the humming. And we help you read the system. And because you're excited by that, and I'm excited by that, we take you to the level where you're not just applying practices in these things. You get to feel what is going on. You sense make of what is the pulse of what someone is saying. You hear what they're not saying. You ask questions that bring out more light into what they really want. So what you become here is you become what is needed in the system and with the person. And we take who you are and you co-create with us We don't tell you. You co-create. And so that Nyla comes, when she's done, she can create her own certification program because you go to that next level. So what I am passionate about is co-creating with you. It's a co-creation. Is that you get out what you need and what you really want. So all of us have unique skills. And so that's where you get that diversity. And you're lucky enough that you have 3 because you get to get that, that very unique deliciousness of it all. And you also learn the techniques. But if you don't have the emotional intelligence to be able to read in the coaching and the technical and the teaching and it doesn't matter what process you do. So it's all about, what you need. And I would love for you to come on. And if you have any questions, I would love it. But all of them offers different things, but we also do one-on-one. There will be some one-on-ones. There will be some reviews. You'll have some one-on-one sessions so that you can also feel what is it like to be coached by a professional coach. And some of you are professional coaches, right? And you're like, well, I don't want another professional coach. It's not about that. You will go and how to use that with teams and organization, how to read the system. And so we elevate you to your next level, to where you want to go. And then we push you where you didn't know you would even be able to go. Because I'm not going to let you sit there and be like, no, I'm good. No, I'm not going. Nope, not me. Not today. So I hope that helps.
No, that's really good. It is weird because I think one of the things for me is I can't believe I haven't come across ICAgile before. What really excited me was a course that wasn't just about sitting a course, taking an exam and calling yourself qualified. So this is actually really excites me because, to me, it's like it is, it's sort of, you are proving your time and, your knowledge and by doing this course. So I'm really excited about it. And my reason for doing this course is because I want to be one of the best and really be the best, not just on paper. I want to be, I want to be known, I want my name. It's Neela, by the way, but don't worry.
Say it again.
It's Neela. NILA. So yeah, but it's all right. So yeah, I really want to be known as, one of the experts, 5-10 years down the road. So so yeah, so I am asking because obviously the other company I'm trying to weigh it up because I probably get to the same place, but if I'm not getting that in-depth knowledge and that growth, then that's something for me to think about. So yeah, so thank you for that.
Absolutely. We've got Andy. Did you want to comment? I saw you raise your hand, so I don't know if you had anything extra to add to that.
It's just offering my own insights into the same point, Neela. I think for me, you hit the nail on it. This is my conundrum, my barrier, if you will, was putting too much on the plate. Especially, this stuff is big, and it's a massive investment in yourself, and you want to focus. Like we tell our people, work in progress limits, right? Like focus. And so for me, this says a lot to me. If we can get 3 badges for half the price or something, but actually, do we want the best badge, the most focused badge? And this is exactly where I was like, yeah, you can go and get loads of badges, but you're not in this for the badge by the sounds of what I'm hearing. And I know from my perspective, and so. And my journey as well, there are a lot of people offering this cohort. Again, I'm coming via a personal level of trust via David, right? So this I know David, I've worked with David, and I very much enjoy what he offers. And Adventures Agile, I feel have always offered I think why you're seeing them maybe later down the line offering this cohort is because they've really invested in making sure this is the right thing. This is my belief. I'm not trying to do a sales job for Adventures Agile here. This is my personal thing.
And Andy isn't on the payroll. We should just add this.
No, I'm not at all. So I just, that's my thinking. That's my head where I'm at. I do know several of the other guys offering this stuff as well. So it's and this is where I've landed. So that's my personal insights.
I do understand because I've been in the Agile space for a while, and I've been getting on great with just having one qualification. So I know qualifications aren't everything, but when you see it on paper and you're like, oh well, I'm getting the same, but I'll get some badges. And for some people, for some recruiters or some companies, the badges will matter. For some companies they won't because they'll be looking for you as a person and your experience. But it is part of it, and when you see it does impact a little bit on your decision. But But I think Maria's told you a little bit, because I'm really, really interested in emotional intelligence. And my key thing is, I think one of my biggest things has always been that I don't know if it's just the space I've been in, the companies I've worked for, is I don't think that I haven't come across people that really understand coach. People say that Scrum Master role is coaching role, Agile coaching role, but I don't think people really understood what coaching meant, until I've come across ICAgile, and it's just really excited me that people really get what these roles are about, and the people side of it. And to me, the people side is the key thing. It's a key thing,
The juicy part.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Thank you. There's someone.
Thank you. I've taken enough
You're
time.
welcome.
Thank you very
No
much for
problem.
that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Manus was also, Manus, did you want to chip in on anything? I saw you trying to speak.
I don't think it's anything different to what everybody else has said, but apart from maybe from having been on a training course that Hafa and David actually presented, the team coaching one. So yeah, I agree, certifications aren't required, but I'm working for a consultancy at the moment. So over the past 2 years, I've done 14 certifications. And I can comfortably say that out of those 14, the one that they presented and the way that I interacted with it and the way that I made it part of who I am even today still, is by far superseded all the others. And that's not blowing your trumpet, guys. I said it to you at the time of the course, and I really mean it. That was fantastic. The way that they do the teaching and the coaching and mentoring really sticks with you. You make it part of yourself. And if that's not enough, I don't know what will be.
Yeah, and I hear the passion in the trainers as well. And I'm a techie as well, by the way. But I was a developer.
I was going to say something similar. I've just recently been on the courses with David and Heifer, and it's been a real journey, and I still need to continue that journey. And I went through a similar deliberation whether or not should I get more qualifications with people I don't know, and I've definitely already purchased this course and I'm in. Okay. So I think you're right. It's not about the badges, it's the quality of what you get. Yeah. And they're great coaches.
And I thank you all for answering it, because I also know the guy, and I didn't want to say anything against someone else.
No, I did. Yeah. I did have a call with him, and I didn't feel any depth of personality there.
without going on the path of talking about someone who is not in the call, what I can definitely say is about us and our passion.
Yeah.
We are passionate about this. And we are going to deliver this passion to you. So if you want to join a demanding, challenging, but full of passion program that will, for sure, and we have this feedback on our courses all the time, a transformative learning experience. It is not a course or a cohort. It will transform who you are. Okay. If you want that and you connect with us, then you already know how to reach to us.
I just want to add one thing. I love it, Hafa. I love it. I love this conversation. I love brilliant conversations, right? And the one thing I would love to add is we're all talking about all this stuff we have to put into it. We have to do this and we have to do, but what do you want? What is the outcome that you want? Be outcome focused. Because if you want something different, if you have struggled with organizations and leaders and they're just like, they won't listen, they won't do this, and you tried every technical technique and if you want different outcomes, this is where you need to be. You have, of course, you put in the work, but it applies right where you're going. So I always look to outcomes instead of like, all this stuff I have to put in. Oh, I'm scared. If you have imposter syndrome, you need to be here because we need help with that. If you have any of those other syndromes or whatever they're talking about, or if you're excited, but it's really think about what you want in the end. If you want something different in the end, if that's where we're going, because of course it's money, because I get that it's COVID, but it's more than what do you want? And our job is to help you get there. And yes, we will have one-on-one coaching. And yes, we will have all these things to help you. And we'll have reviews and we'll have this. And you also is what you put in is what you get out. So I just wanted to add that. That's it.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, I hope that's answered all your questions there. And it was, so a big thank you as well to our guest speakers, to Andy and Martinus, and also Elaine for just chiming in as well and sharing your experience as well. That's been perfect. So finally, what we're going to move on is to our Q&A portion. I know people have been asking questions and there's a few more that's in Mural, so I'm just going to run through those. And again, if you've got any questions, just turn on your mic and feel free to ask or put them in the chat. So question we have here says, go on.
Sorry, I was going to say there's a couple we could pick off really quickly, I think, possibly. Yeah, and that was the first one. So you're about to leave the UK, is everything online? For this course, for this cohort, everything is going to be online, including the residential. So we're going to put the residential to be an online. So it was going to be 3 days in person. If I had my way, in an amazing seaside resort in Portugal somewhere. But and Hafa's agreeing with that. But it's going to be online for this, mainly because we don't know what's going to happen and who can travel. And we want to open this up to everyone around the world. And we don't know if some people aren't going to be able to travel, et cetera, et cetera. So we've taken the decision, as hard as it was, to be online for the residential as well, which did mean that we could reduce the price from what it was going to be to what it is now. So that's given us that. So yes, all online. Sorry, Corey, I jumped in.
No worries, that's fine, no worries. Another question we have here, it says, do you have one-to-one coaching sessions as part of the course? I think Maria kind of answered that, but yeah. We do.
Definitely.
Someone here has asked, could you please provide an example of EQ testing homework applied within the organization that is?
Who could answer this? Ria, do you want to take this question by any chance?
So you just want an example of what? Is it EQ? What are you asking? Be more specific. You want is EQ stand for emotional intelligence? What are you asking? I don't know what they're asking, to be honest with you. Can I have some clarification?
If anyone who wrote that post, if they want to speak up, just to give us a bit of, just to elaborate on that point. If they're still in the room.
If you're talking about emotional intelligence, it is self-awareness. So you do self-management, self-awareness. Who you are as a person is where we also start. Is what impact do you have on the system? So we go in with our whatever we go in with, but it does impact the system. Every time someone walks in the room, you can see some people light up, some people are like, oh, here that person comes again. So it just, you start with you, and then we move out to sensing the organization and helping others. We give you different things to do. How you will start to notice. We will give you things as you go through them. They're learning experience. You learn through learning experiences. So believe me, you will learn through some of our learning experiences and you will apply them. And it'll be really fun because you'll have all these little tools and you'll be talking to people and you'll be like, aha, oh, that's what happened. Or you'll see you start reading their facial expressions and things like that. So there'll be application that you can use quickly, even in your house. So be very careful using some of these techniques on your family because they'll be like, oh, you're doing that thing again. But those are some, if you're talking about emotional intelligence, but a lot of this will be things you can quickly apply.
Yeah, definitely. Well, something that David mentioned, which is we are going to invite you to keep a journal throughout the cohort program. So you are bound to have stuff that it's either locked inside of you or that it's in your unconscious to come up. And it may come up during a coaching session that you have on a triad or in one of the challenges or the quests that we will invite you to take on your organization. And you will reflect on that. Since the three of us have a professional coaching background, we really like the powerful questions and we like to place people into this deep introspective moment and calling you out to action. This is what makes our courses. This is why our courses are transformative journeys, because we want to go to the deeper stuff. we don't want to keep just on the superficial level of things. We want to promote real and sustainable growth. So if you have been with us already, prepare for 9 months of really deep, fun, and engaging journeys.
Hang on, I can hear something. Yes, Maru, what are you saying?
Waiting for a space slot to be able to speak.
No, go ahead.
I've written it in the mural, so thanks Rafa for the link, but I can summarize it here. So my main question is, how do I get to a significant number of coaching hours so I can get my certification? Because my background is in strategy consulting and management consulting. Before that, I did a PhD in AI. Before that, I was in product management. So it's very long, but I never clocked official one-on-one coaching hours. I do have a systemic coaching certification, an NLP practitioner, and all the hours I did were about 30 hours. And systemic coaching is very different from agile coaching. Could be used, but so my question is, how do I get to those 2,000 hours that I need?
It's not 2,000 hours. Sorry, I saw that in your note. Yeah, it's in total across the 4 disciplines of teaching, facilitating, mentoring, and coaching is 100 hours in total. So about 25 hours each of those disciplines, not 2,000.
Okay, the other ones I read was like 2,000 for the associate and 3,000 for the enterprise one.
That is for ICF. You're thinking of International Coaching Federation.
Yeah, that is ICF.
So that's what you're thinking. And
no,
this,
ICF is 500.
Yeah.
500. I know for sure. The 2,000 is from ICAgile.
So ICAgile and the International Coaching Federation have similar initials, but they are different. So I'm a professional coach with the ICF, with the International Coaching Federation.
Yeah.
And I forget how many hours. Is it 400 coaching hours I had to submit for that? But yeah, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah. We require 100. And what it is that you will start it from the time you start the program, not once, because you need to be applying what you're learning in those. So you'll do some one-on-one, you'll do team coaching, team facilitation, mentoring, one-on-one and team. So I think it's a little bit more than 100, but you got to do team coaching and team one-on-one. You have to do mentoring, and you have to do facilitation and teaching. I'm not sure if it might be a little bit more than 100 because you have to do both of those, one-on-one and team, and one-on-one mentoring, and so it sounds like 150, but something like that.
So these have to be done outside the program, have to be done at work. Oh, sorry, Rafa, you were going to speak?
No, I was going to link with your question because there is a similar question because we mentioned ICF, but I can hold it so that you can finish what you were going to say.
It's a follow-up understanding question. So these 100 hours have to be done in the scope of my job, my work, basically, as a freelancer, not in the scope of the program, not like practice 100 hours of practice with the other people in the cohort.
No, it could be done with, like you could do one-on-one coaching with anyone. It could be at work. The team coaching, you have to do it with a team. You could do the mentoring with someone. It doesn't have to be with people in the cohort. It would be, with others, people with your team. But like the teaching and facilitation, people in my cohort they did a meetup and did it. They did teaching and they did facilitation at a meetup. So you just have to practice the skills that you're learning within the time frame of the cohort.
Not all done in those 2 weekly meetings. That's correct. It's outside that. And one clarification point that someone asked me recently in another conversation was, I'm already doing this, or I've already done this. Does that count? And that's a no. It's once you start the cohort, because it's practicing the stuff we talk about in those 2 weekly sessions. And it's practicing that stuff that we talk about. So you can't use stuff retrospectively. Sorry, Catherine.
Sorry, David, I nearly interrupted you, didn't I? How do you evidence it then? Is it a journal throughout the time that you spend within the cohort? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have something to have you document it, and then you'll start documenting it's really, we're trusting you, but you'll be able to tell when you go, because you have to also submit a video of your work, and like of you coaching, you have to coach us so that we can say yes, you passed. And so we'll be able to see, and there'll be checkpoint in the middle, so we can say here's where you need some help, and you'll go off and practice some more. And so yes, So yeah, but it will be like you'll be logging your hours, and a place will have it for you to log your hours and dates, log, things like that. So because we have to submit all of that to ICAgile. So
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and linking with the question about the ITF mentioned, there is one like, why would I do this course over a NORSC, ICF, or coactive course? So unless I'm mistaken, these bodies of knowledge focus on professional coaching or team coaching from a professional coaching perspective. Our cohort is an agile coaching cohort. Professional coaching is one part of the cohort. You have facilitation, which is a completely different stance and skill set. You have mentoring and you have training. On top of that, you have the team and systemic approach. And when should you use any of those? Like, okay, in this situation, should I be a professional coach? In this situation, should I be a facilitator? Could I be both? Could I be also stepping into teaching? Should I step into mentoring? When do I do this? How do I do this? So that is the main difference. So we are bringing this agile lenses to not only professional coaching, but also to facilitation, teaching, and mentoring.
Which kind of answers or starts to answer the purple circle of why you guys, what makes you stand out, which is we've all got our specialisms, if you like, as well as our general. So I've done my postgraduate certificate from Barefoot, as you mentioned those, and lots of the stuff that I bring might be related to that. But again, that's only one of the elements. And you could go off and you could do a postgrad in business and personal coaching. You could go off and do one in facilitation. You could go and do one in teaching, and you could go and do one in mentoring, and bring all of those into your agile world and work through that yourself. What we're doing is we're bringing our specialism. Again, other organizations will bring other specialisms. And I suppose the question there for you is, do the three of us have those specialisms that you think will benefit you in applying all of this stuff to your agile world? And I suppose we can't answer that question for you, but we're happy to talk about it more in depth about whether this is the right fit for you. In fact, before anyone joins the cohort, we insist on having that conversation with you because we want to make sure that you're the right fit and that we're the right fit.
Yeah, and I want to add what Hafa answered before is, like he said, all of those are totally different because I'm a coactive leader. It's really, I really want you really to ask yourself, and I had to do this because I was like, when I was in my learning, I was like, oh my goodness, what should I do? I'm overwhelmed. So I really looked at what do I want to do next? What's most important to me? And I had to do a WSJF, weighted shortage job first to say, what did I want to do next? I weighed it out and I said, and I prioritized it. I used agile techniques to help me figure out to prioritize. And it's really, what do you want next? What outcome do you want? And then also, what do you want from your trainer? So if you ask me that question, I'm going to ask you a question to gain clarification. Is what are you looking for in your coaches? Now, I'm a program, I've been on every level of the organization. So I've put in work. And so I have tons of examples of what doesn't work because I did that. And I also have examples of what halfway worked and what is working in certain types of organizations. So, that's my input, but really, I want you guys to really think about what you want. What is it that you want? Because we're going to really, I have ORS experience, I have coactive, I have all kind of experience, but it's where do you want to go? Because we're going to help elevate you, and like Hafa said, in all those areas, but also it's going to be some unknowns that you don't know that I can see them. I don't know. It's just a specialty I have. It's one of my superpowers. Of knowing what your energy is and how to light that up, because some of us have these energies, right? We're like, we're kind of eccentric, or we're, really kind. And people have told us, you're too kind. You're too eccentric. Well, use it. And the greatest example, really quick, I want to say is my daughter is very eccentric. but she thinks completely outside the box and comes up with the most creative things. And her teachers love her because she comes up with these creative ways of doing things, and they're genius. So that's what we unlock in you, things that you don't know, that you don't see, because we're there to help you see those things. And so will all your community. They'll unlock these things and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I was different in May than I am at the end. So yeah. Perfect.
I guess a running theme as well was about cost, and someone's highlighted that how much does this program cost? I could probably answer that one actually, because I have it in front of me. So the standard price for this cohort program is at £5,200 plus VAT. We do have an early bird price as well, which you can get £200 off. So it comes in at $499. However, we have an exclusive discount for all our webinar attendees. So for being here this evening, we're actually offering 10% off the course. And so it's a promotion that will run to the 14th of April, which is 2 weeks from today. All you got to do is when you make your booking or you decide to call up or do it online, just quote the word webinar and then you will save 10%. So off the top of my head in maths, that's 500 quid off. So
hey man, I'm signing up. Where do I go again?
Right.
You need to go to www.adventureswithagile.com for all of that information.
And it's a steal because I charge a lot per hour for my one-on-one coaching. I'm just saying, it's a steal because you also get a lot of one-on-one and treatment, like a lot of stuff. And it's over a month. You got to think about, what are you wasting? How much fast food or stuff are you using every month? And that's the stuff that actually helped me. I was like, what can I give up so I can elevate me as a person, as a coach? And who I am, because that's what changed me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I learned a lot of different skills, but being able to see things differently, new perspectives, and I was totally different. I'm just gonna be like, I got little tweaks, and then one of the best ones I got was, what about if they are wrong? I was doing a training and I submitted my thing, and Lisa says, well, what about if they are wrong? Just let them talk. See what happens. And instead of interrupting and trying to say whether it's right, the room did. It was one of the best things and it has helped me so much to give space for learning, to be able to give that space. So yeah, it's fun.
Perfect. Another question here asks, is this the first one AWA are running?
Coaching cohort, yes, but AWA has already started running the enterprise cohort. So we already got the gist of building the cohort, but the coaching cohort, it will be the first edition.
And I also teach that enterprise cohort as well. So it's a nice stone.
I've seen a question, from Neela in the chat asking about cost and installments. Yes, we do have an installments package as well. If you just go onto the website, adventureswithagile.com, you should be able to find all of that information there. Following this anyway, I will send an email out to everyone who's attended with all of this information. So don't worry too much. I'll include everything in there. It's a lot to remember and take in. So
if we could nail a few of these, so the learning objectives we can put in a link on something, right? So we can put that as for you to do. I'd love to know what the birth 9 months reborn is. And I presume this is for the length of the course. Is it just a comment, or is there actually a question? Because I ain't giving anyone a baby during this course. I've done the baby stuff, and I'm not going back there. So I'm out. If that's what you want.
You need to ask your wife if she's also out of this, because maybe there's a third.
I think we stop this conversation right now, because I'm out. I've already said.
Did your wife hijack the board, David?
No, I'm not going anywhere with this. Much more importantly, how does it work around holidays? I don't know when your holidays are. But what we will not be doing is we will not be putting it on a common bank holiday, the bank holidays are maybe a colloquial term as well, or a specific term. On any national holiday, I'm assuming that we will avoid those. I have, to be honest, I haven't looked at all of the bank holiday, all of the holidays to know that if there is some obscure Kuala Lumpur holiday that we might fall foul of. So if you have a specific time that you can't make, then we've already published the dates though, right, Corey, of which of the 2 weekly sessions.
Yeah, it should be up. And from my knowledge there, we've tried, we have avoided all of the major bank holidays. So we should be good in that regard.
Okay. Now, the one I can't answer though, which Hafa and I and Larry were talking about earlier, is the dates of the residential. We know where it falls. It falls towards the end of the course, of the cohort. In fact, during the residential, we're going to be doing a lot of those dancing around the dance of the X-Wing, or that where do we, how do we move from one area, one competence to another, and things like that. So we know where it sits, but I can't tell you the dates because I basically was asked this by AWA, so this is where it falls, and I left it to them to organise the dates. And we all agreed that we don't actually know exactly the dates of that. So someone does, and we can provide it, but I don't think any of us can provide it right now.
Yeah. Someone asked where my name come from. I thought that was funny. It's Louis and Maria, Lou Ria. I put that up there. I thought it was funny. And yes, we do use Mural and brainstorming, things like that. You'll probably learn some new tools and things of that nature. So who's ready? I want to know who's ready. Who's ready to
Martina did, yeah.
Who's ready to dive into their next adventure, to what they need? Yes, Catherine, you're about to say something.
What happens if you get too many people applying for it?
Then that would have to wait till the next cohort.
We would either do that or we would split, because we would figure it out. Might do one every other, but yeah. It's just, I know, I saw your hand. You're ready? You're ready.
Yeah, you persuaded me. You persuaded me.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm really excited.
Does anybody have anything that is holding them back? Like they are still in that and they want to ask? Yes.
Yeah, well, no question so much as the minimum bar, really. So I need to still do the ICP ATF. The other thing that's on my mind is I'm actually starting a new job tomorrow. So maybe that doesn't make me the best candidate right now anyway.
Well, the cohort doesn't start until the 12th of May. So it is a month and a half away. The next team facilitation course, and as Hafa said, you don't need to do the team facilitation and team coaching with AWA. You can do them with anyone and still be welcome to the team, to the cohort. But as you are here and you're saying about doing that course, the next team facilitation course we have scheduled is the 17th of May, and it runs for 5 hours for 4 days. So 5 hours each of the 4 days, if you're interested.
Thanks. Yeah,
but I don't think starting a new job for anyone, I don't think that would necessarily be a massive problem, because you've got all of this stuff probably still to do with them. So
yeah, I've just started a new job as well.
It really would help. Yes, it would help, because then you get to use some of the you're coming in fresh and you have all these new things. How do we enter in our organization? All these other things, like what do we do? What is this? What is that? But if you still want to meet, and I'm not going to destroy your name because I am about to if I try. But if you want to meet and have a conversation with us, we can still qualify you for the next cohort, because we'll be having more, but we can qualify you for this one or the next one. So, still set an appointment with us. I wouldn't let that hold you back, and ask some questions, because we're going to be honest with you whether you're ready or not. I'm going to tell you the truth, because that's what I do. I don't know any other way. It's my personality.
Perfect.
Well, and also it protects everyone, you and everyone else, because AWA, and again, I am blowing our own trumpet, we always fill out the courses. They are overbooked, so we have a waiting list, and the next ones fill out really quickly, because we rely on word of mouth. And we don't want anyone leaving this cohort saying, that wasn't a great experience for me. So that's one reason we're not going to get you in. But also, if you're not right for it, we don't want to ruin the experience or degrade the experience for the other 15 people on the cohort as well, right? And so it's for you, for them, and we want to make sure that you're getting out of it what you hope to get out of it. So that's why we have those conversations with everyone before they sign up, to make sure that they're right for it and it's right for them. So we're not going to let someone sign up if it's not right.
Yeah, so if you're not ready because you need more practice, we'll tell you that. And then you can sign up later. So we want you to get all the value you want out of the cohort.
Perfect. Well, I think we've answered all our questions in the mural, and we're right on schedule as promised at 7:30. So I'm going to formally close now. So I just want to thank our coaches, David, Luria, and Hafa, for joining us and sharing. And also a massive thank you to Andy and Martinus as well for sharing their journey to Agile and why they joined. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'll probably stay on for just 5 minutes if anyone has any pressing questions that they want to ask. But yes, thank you so much for coming. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, thank you everyone who we have met on a previous course. Elaine, you're not here anymore, but maybe you can see this on the recording. Thank you for dropping by and also sharing your testimonial. And
it's like a little reunion as well. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys.